name is Veronica White. I am the founder and CEO of Help from a Sister, Inc. Do I have your permission to share my story with you? My mom had me when she was 17 years old. My parents separated when I was 3 years old. My dad was very involved with my upbringing, despite the fact my parents weren't together. At the age of 9, my dad was incarcerated for a period of time. That affected my education and my personal development. At 19, I had my first child. My mom informed me that I was about to have a baby. I need to open a bank account. So she took me to the bank. I gave the banker my information. He ran it and came back and informed me that he would not be able to open an account for me because I had an outstanding balance at another financial institution. I was a little puzzled, and I looked at my mom and I was like, well, this is my first account. Like, I've never opened a bank account before. She said, okay. She asked the banker, can you run my information, see if I can open an account? And if I can open an account, can I add her to it? He looked at her and said, yes. Me and my mom have the exact same name. So after he opened the account, he informed us of a bank product for life insurance. So my mom looked at me and said, well, you're about to have a child. You're going to need insurance. I said, okay. So that day, I not only got a bank account, I got a life insurance policy. So when my son was born, he was born into the life insurance policy. At 21 years old, I had a set of twins. To me, that was such a blessing and a curse, but I'm gonna go with the blessing. And I'm just trying to figure it out. Before my 22nd birthday, my youngest child was murdered. I'm not sure how many days. To me, it felt like time had stood still. I recall planning the burial information. I recall being at the funeral. But from there were several days, maybe months, that I was at a state that I really can't explain. How many people have been hurt, lost? You felt betrayed. You felt like nobody really understood what was going on with you. Well, that's the place I was at 22 years. At 22 years old, with 2 children, no credit, working a minimum wage job. I needed a change. I knew something had to change. I didn't know how or what. Until one morning, I had a conversation with myself. Imagine looking you in the face and a person telling you, hey, I understand you want to lay in that bed all day and mourn a child you lost. But if you continue down that path it's a potential you'll lose the other two. They don't understand what's going on, and they need a parent. They need someone that's present. So if you can't get up and get yourself together for you, then despite the fact that you lost one child, be the best parent that you can be for the two that's here. I agreed. And I went back to school. I went looking for an apartment. I found one in Calumet City that I really liked. So the landlord said, okay, there's 3 things that needs to happen before I can give you this apartment. They said we need to run a background check. We need to check your credit, and then there's a security deposit. I said, okay, well, Section 8, if you accept me, Section 8 will pay majority of my rent. I have no problem with the background check. I said, and right now, I don't have any credit. I have 2 children. I'm in school, and I'm just trying to provide a better environment for my children to grow up in. I said, so if you allow me to use my grades as my credit report, I'll work on my credit. I promise. That day, they gave me the apartment. I was happy. Like, okay, some things are going my way. I'm working this out. I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe a year later, the school calls me up to have a meeting in reference to my child. They said based on their testing, my child has a mild mental impairment. I really didn't know what that was. I didn't understand it. But it's me sitting there with the teachers, the doctors, the educators. And as they explained it to me, I just felt like that was another blow. Like, I'm trying, and now I gotta figure this out. So, okay, so now I want to look for resources that can help my child, that can help me. I couldn't find any. There are a couple of parenting groups up north. Of course I went. I had to investigate and find out. But there is no resources that can help guide me and show me, or even provide tools for me. So something told me to put my children in an extracurricular activity. I found Downbear's Youth Football and Cheerleading organization, not knowing that was a community. And I enrolled them in there. So they had football and cheerleading. And then after football and cheerleading, it was basketball and cheerleading. And then after basketball and cheerleading, then it was t-ball and baseball. So year round, my kids had something to do. And I'm working on me. I'm trying to understand this credit. I wish help from a sister was around at that time. But it wasn't. Help from a Sister was birthed in June of 2020. A nonprofit that caters to single parents. It helped them transition from where they are to where they want to be. We provide the tools and the techniques. Tools, techniques, and resources to help them transition from where they are to where they want to be. There are 3 points that I was stressing in my conversation with you today. 1, you need life insurance. You rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. The policy I took out at the bank that day, that my son was born into, that my daughters were born into, at a time when I was grieving and not sure of what to do, I did not have to worry about how I was going to bury my daughter, because I had a life insurance policy that covered that area. So I was able to grieve. There are some parents that is not in that situation. We need to educate and help our parents know that it's imperative that you have life insurance. Any type of policy for you and your children. The second point I wanted to stress is personal finance, credit. We need to understand it and learn about it. It's not going anywhere. You need credit for everything these days. The third, but the most important, is personal development. And personal development means invest in yourself. You are your biggest asset. Whatever you invest in you get 100-fold return. I understand we try to help other people and our children, our family, and our friends, and we invest in them. And we can get a partial return sometimes. But do you know when you invest in yourself, you get 100% return all the time? Become your own best friend. Trust what's inside of you. Nurture it. Educate it. Spend time with you. Those are the 3 points I wanted to stress today. Thank you so much for allowing me to share a piece of my story with you.